Hello everyone and welcome back to my mentorship. I'm Maya, but you can call me Caramel. Today we will talk about closet slash armor, jewelry and toys. Now, if you click here, see where it says costume? Heirs have a closet just like we have. Now, one of the important things here is armor. See where it says armor right here? This is a very important part. First of all, whatever outfit you decide to display here to use as armor does not affect the appearance of your hair. For example, Bonbon has this red outfit, but he's wearing the white one, as you can see. So what does it do? The armor gives extra team attribute. You can click on this little icon here and change every piece of armor with another piece. However, you have to make sure that you pick pieces that give you the most attributes instead of less, or the most might also, because if I click this one, see here where it says might, there will be a might loss. That's why we are using the godly ones. Let's switch with this one. If I say confirm, look what happened to the might once I select it. So, of course, we will use the pieces that give more might and better attributes, okay? Then, of course, there is the archive with all the outfits for the hair. And then here in Sculpt, you can change the features, change whatever you want. However, make sure your lover is okay with this, because changing hair outfit or appearance will show up on your lover's side. Make sure that they are okay with that, okay? Now, we can talk about hair toys. Hair toys give team and hair's attributes. When you open the tab with your hair toys, you will see that there are 3 toys: a top, Chinese rings, and a ball. So first things first, make sure that you and your lover each pick one hair to take care of for both toys and jewelry. Why is that? As you can see, for Bonbon, I'm using my lover's plan 1, while for Fudge, I'm using plan 1 mine. Now, if you go to Toffee, that is my lover, he will have for Fudge plan 1 lover, and for Bonbon it will be plan 1 mine, because he takes care of Bonbon while I take care of Fudge, so that we don't have to have 2 sets of everything, 2 sets of jewelry, 2 sets of toys. See, if you go on plan 2 mine, there is nothing, so that I only have to have 1. The same way, if you go here to Toffee's plan 2, there is nothing. There is only 1 that is enabled and it is in effect, and is Toffee's. If you go in jewelry very quickly, you will see that there is the lovers for Bonbon, and mine has nothing. And if you switch to Fudge, you have mine, but if you switch on lovers, there is nothing. Why? Because we each take care of 1 to make sure we don't spread our resources and don't need double of everything. Okay? Now, going back to toys. As I already shown, there are 2 different plans. Technically, that will mean that depending on your enemy, you should pick a plan of toys and all that. Forget it. We don't need that. Just pick 1 plan, 1 for each lover, and stick to it. You will not be changing things around, so just get 1. Besides, it's so hard to get decent toys and to polish them to the point that attributes are all fabled. It's up to luck. I will show you how to polish. Now, if you don't select your lover plans, any change you make and you have just 2 sets of toys, 1 on one side and 1 on the other, you can change anything you want and it will not affect your lover. But as I said, you will need 2 sets of everything. When you use 1 for yourself and 1 for your lover, like I did with Toffee, if Toffee makes any changes, the changes that he makes will affect me too, okay? It's quite funny. There was one time Toffee was polishing toys and I kept seeing my might going up and down, and I was like, what the heck is happening here? But anyway, as you can see, every one of the toys have different features slash attributes, okay? They call it features here, that cannot be polished for every toy. For example, crit damage cannot be polished in Chinese rings, or team accuracy cannot be polished in the tops, etc., etc. To know exactly what cannot be polished and all that, you go here, they have a whole list of it. See? You click on this question mark and you will find what cannot be polished. So, of course, the toys are different qualities, like epic, elites, and fables. Yeah, and they all different number of futures. That's pretty much it. You can smelt the toys, but I never do, because look what you get. The locks, the wisdom locks are the ones that you use to actually lock some futures. These are the futures that have been unlocked and polished for the toys. If you are into numbers and you want to look at those, that would be the thing. So I will show you how to polish. To polish, we need wisdom stones. Here is where you can find it. Handmade Joy, of course. Handmade Joy, by the way, is an event where your heirs go to work and they can actually have one of their friends go to work with them. They earn a bunch of money and that you can use in the shop for hair outfits or to buy classes or material to upgrade whatever. So you can have wisdom stones there. Real Metrov, okay. Exquisite shop, Empress shop. Yeah, that's where you can find those wisdom stones. They are quite difficult to find. Now let's polish. Okay, so we have, see, they have a suggestion. Hair Agi or Team Attack. I think we had already Team Agi. Yes, it was that one. And it was 200 and it's higher than that. You know what? I'll select this one, replace it. See, my mind went up. Now quick clear and polish, and I finished. I don't have any more stones. So this is how polishing works. And that's it for the toys. Now we can talk about jewelry. As you can see, each one of the hair can have a full set of 5 pieces of jewelry, and they are the pin, the pendant, the belt, the necklace, and the bracelet. There are 4 qualities: elite, epic, fabled, and godly. Higher quality grants more enhancement chances. Each piece of jewelry has basic attributes that are the same for each one of the 5 pieces, and they are team HP, team attack, and team defense. And then the special ones that change depending on the piece. For example, the necklace has team agility and hair agility, while like the pin has team crit damage and team crit damage resistance, etc., etc. So each one of these pieces grants a different attributes on the hairs, but also on the team. Just like for the toys, and I already said it, you can set if you want to use your jewelry or your lovers. Like in the case of me and Toffee, for fudge, we are using mine. And see, you go on lover and there is nothing. But if you go on bonbons, we are using the lovers. So if you go on mine, there is nothing. And of course, you have to enable them. You can reforge, but I don't suggest you to use it unless you know what you're doing. And then you can disassemble. Of course, always make sure that you are disassembling a piece of jewelry that is a lower quality than the one that you already have. I'll show you how to disassemble this one. Click on disassemble, and it did. It gave me the reforged stones and then the rubies that are necessary to do the enhance. You should work, at least this is my suggestion, you should work on maxing the piece of jewelry that you want the special attributes to go to your team. For example, the necklace gives as a special team agi and hair agi. So I'm trying to max it so that I can get team agi and hair agi. Of course, I'm preferring agility over, for example, a crit damage. Why? Because that is personal preference. I'd rather have more agility than crit damage. Okay? You pick whatever piece of jewelry that gives you what you need, what you think your team needs, and then you max that one first instead of leveling up all of them. Okay? To enhance, I will select the necklace and then I'll do enhance. Continue. See, the hairs might went up, but also the attributes went up, the special one. Keep collecting lower quality jewelry that can disassemble and use the rubies, or just find rubies somewhere in some event and stuff. So about Reforge, there is to say, is used if you're not satisfied with the results when you go to enhance. The piece of jewelry can be reforged to a specific enhancement stage, but the ruby used to enhance the jewelry will not be returned. That's why I'm saying do not use Reforge unless you know what you're doing, because you will lose all those rubies, and it's not that easy to find rubies. Okay, I think that's it. Next time I will explain everything about education, school, a royal exam, and also care. Okay, so it's all for now. Bye bye.